Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Today we gather to conclude several remarkable days in the capital, Riyadh. Days in which the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia stood proudly at the center of the global stage, hosting the Global Symposium for Regulators, GSR 25. With excellence and vision, under the leadership of the Communication, Space and Technology Commission and the International Telecommunication Union. This distinguished event reflected the Kingdom's unwavering commitment and its active contribution to advancing the ITU's global initiatives that foster sustainable digital growth, inspire innovation, and open new horizons for international cooperation. Over its days, this symposium has been a platform where leaders, regulators, and experts from every corner of the world came together to exchange ideas, tackle the most pressing issues, and shape a united vision for the future of communication, space, and technology. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, over the next few minutes, we will hear brief reports on the key outcomes from the past few days and celebrate our collective achievements. I am now pleased to invite our distinguished speakers for this session to the stage. Engineer Umar Al-Radraji, Deputy Governor of Regulation and Competition Sector at CST. Mr. Bokarba, Chair of IAGD Crew. Engineer Umar, please, the floor is yours for your report. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Zavazava, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests. It's a great honor to stand before you at the conclusion of this historic symposium and report on a key outcomes that will shape our path forward. As the chair of 2025 Regional Regulatory Associations meeting, I am pleased to report on a session that was vibrant with a spirit of partnership. The meeting, which brought together 13 of our active regional regulatory associations, celebrated the Digital Regulation Network, DRN, as a catalyst for innovation, collaboration, and sustainable impact, made it possible by the BDT, Director Vision and Leadership. There was a strong agreement on the urgency of sharing best practices among regional regulatory associations. This includes organizing knowledge-sharing platforms, promoting capacity building, sharing experience among RAs, and circulating relevant materials, resources, and projects developed by ITU and RAs. Finally, the meeting underscored the importance of continued dialogue. The DRN was recognized as a dynamic platform that connects regulators at international and regional levels, as well as across sectors, ensuring that the cooperation remains central of our collective efforts. This very spirit of collaboration was the foundation of the most significant outcome of our symposium, the adaptation of the GSR 25 best practices guidelines that empowering regulators as a digital ecosystem builders. These guidelines are not just a document. They are our collective response to the new intelligent era. They represent a global consensus on the fundamental shift required of us, from traditional rule setters to proactive architect of our digital future. Excellencies, these 4 pillars are our roadmap. They are the actions that will transform the GSR 25 guidelines into a global reality. I urge all of you to take guidelines back to your countries, to use them, to adopt them, and to share our experience as we embark on this essential journey together. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished regulators, esteemed colleagues, and dear friends. It is with a great respect and appreciation that I stand before you today in my capacity as a chair of the KAICC to present the outcome statement of our private sector deliberations held alongside GSR 25. This statement embodies the collective wisdom, experience, and commitment of industry leaders who came together in a spirit of partnership. It reflects not only our discussions, but also our shared sense of responsibility toward building a digital future that leaves no one behind. With your permission, allow me now to present the outcome statement for your consideration. The KAICC convened alongside GSR 25 to convey the perspectives of the private sector and to present concrete recommendations in 3 critical areas: expanding inclusive connectivity, sustaining investment and innovation, strengthening agile and trusted governance. With regard to universal and meaningful connectivity, the meeting emphasized practical steps that country can activate now, combining satellite and terrestrial solutions, planning for geographic as well as population, streamlining permits and right-of-ways, and scaling infrastructure sharing to reduce costs and speed rollout, especially to connected public institutions. They urge that universal also cover land area and the connected devices that serve agriculture, energy, transport, and public safety. Targeted public-private financing and better focused use of existing funds should prioritize rural and underserved community. Concerning closing the usage gap, where networks already exist, progress depends on affordable devices, digital skills program, locally relevant services and content, online safety, and basic enablers such as electricity and identification system. Delivery should be co-designed with communities to ensure relevance and inclusion. Concerning infrastructure innovation and investment conditions, to keep capital flowing, speakers asked for clear multi-year spectrum and regulatory roadmaps, predictable and affordable renewals, supportive tax policy, facilitative sharing rules, and wherever appropriate, pro-competitive consolidation. Participants highlighted the need to phase network shutdowns sensibly to minimize undue consumer impact. Strong public, private, and regional cooperation is needed to scale next-generation network and services. For financing and funding, the meeting encouraged predictable, sustainable financing, public-private partnership, blended finance, infrastructure funds, and structured commercial arrangement with major beneficiaries of connectivity governed by clear codes of conduct and fair dispute resolution. With regard to agile and trusted governance, participants supported outcome-based interoperable regulation that preserve incentives to invest and ensures a level playing field across market participants. Priority include privacy and cybersecurity, coordinated responses to misinformation, disinformation, hate, and deepfakes, plus practical enablers such as lightweight trust guidance, federated EID, capacity building, and public metrics. The regulator's mediating role for civil protection and internal security was underlined. Speakers also asked to explore independent AI testing and voluntary certification to build trust in higher risk AI. In summary, the recommendations are the follows. Publish and maintain multi-year spectrum and regulatory roadmap developed with the industry to provide clarity for investment and regional alignment. Accelerate deployment by integrating satellite and terrestrial solutions, streamlining permits, right-of-way, scaling infrastructure sharing, and priority connection for public institutions and underserved community. Close the users gap through the device affordability initiative, digital skills program, partnership for relevant local service and content, online safety, and attention to electricity and ID system. Improve investment condition, predictable renewal, rationalize sector taxes, facilitative sharing rules, and wherever appropriate, pro-competitive consolidation while phasing obligation to avoid undue consumer impact. Mobilize sustainable finance via PPP, blended capital, infrastructure fund, and structural commercial arrangement with major beneficiaries of connectivity under clear conduct and dispute resolution frameworks. Finally, adopt agile, interoperable, outcome-based rules that ensure a level playing field, use sandboxes and time-bound reviews, strengthen privacy and cybersecurity, coordinate on online harms, and assess independent AI testing and voluntary certification for higher risk AI. The private sector at large reaffirm its readiness to partner with government, especially regulators, to advance these actions and support national and regional digital transformation agenda. On behalf of the YACD CRO, I wish to express deep appreciation to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for its warm hospitality and to the leadership of the ITU for the excellent organization and execution of GSR 25. This outcome statement reflects the spirit of collaboration and the substance of our deliberation. It is respectfully submitted for the consideration of regulators gathered at GSR 25. Thank you for your audience.
Thank you, Mr. Bakr. Thank you, Engineer Omar. Please be back to your seats. And now we will start the closing ceremony of the GSR 25. It is now our great honor to invite Dr. Cosmas Zavazava to the lectern for the closing ceremony of GSR 25.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I see that you are the brave ones because many have left and you are still around. I want to thank you for coming to the closing ceremony. And before I proceed with my statement, I would like just for us to relive the great experience that we had here, hosted by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So can we just show the highlight video? Wow, what can I say? I would like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, CST, for the generosity, the great facilities put before us. I think they deserve another round of applause. I would like to present my remarks now. After 3 remarkable days of insightful discussions, invaluable networking, and collaborative engagement, the energy of GSR 25 is truly inspiring. To celebrate our collective achievements, I now invite you to enjoy once again our highlight video. I'm joking. But it was amazing. So, Your Excellency, Engineer Haitham Alohaly, GSR 25 Chair, Governor of ICT, of CST, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies, friends, and colleagues. Over these past 3 days here in Riyadh, we have reaffirmed what makes the Global Symposium for Regulators unique: a practical, solutions-driven community of regulators and partners determined to translate vision into impact. My warm thanks goes to Engineer Omar Abdul, Deputy Governor CST, for presenting the outcomes of the Regulatory Association's Digital Regulation Network meeting and GSR 25 guidelines, and to Mr. Bokaba for bringing the industry's perspective to the fore earlier this afternoon. And this is what makes us great, and a great family where we have open discussions between our industry and private sector, between our regulators and our ministers. Your contributions helped crystallize the week's key outcomes. A centerpiece of our work this year is the adoption of the GSR 25 best practice guidelines, empowering regulators as the digital ecosystem builders. In GSR 25's year history, these guidelines mark a new compact between regulators and the wider ecosystem, a shift in perspective, approach, and the tools. Regulating is not gatekeeping. It is like a garden that you need to nurture. And these were the wise words from the Minister of India who addressed us. This reminds us that our role is not only to set rules, but to convene partners, align incentives, open data, and shared infrastructure, and embed learning and experimentation into our new guidelines and into how we govern. They put regulatory experimentation at the center and recognize how emerging technologies can strengthen how we innovate, regulate, and collaborate. The guidelines are a living blueprint to help ecosystems deliver inclusive growth and trusted digital markets, combining tried and tested regulatory solutions with experimental, consensus-building, and anticipatory approaches. You may ask, will they help us to resolve today's real problems and enable responsible innovation? The answer is simple. The GSR 25 guidelines are a practical guide and reference material we can start implementing the moment we land in our motherlands. By testing before codifying, by designing for inclusion and safety by design, and by institutionalizing collaboration across borders, ministries, markets, and borders. Once again, as we close, I'm also mindful of the tone we set together last year at the GSR 24, an emphasis on partnership, agility, and evidence-based policy. Before I conclude, let me share the main takeaways. Make innovation a core regulatory practice, adapt our institutional capacity, leverage technology for regulatory excellence, strengthen cross-border cooperation, champion collaborative governance, and prioritize a human-centric digital future. We are in an age where, as I said in my opening remarks, we want to unmask technology and show a human face. Allow me to express once again my personal profound appreciation and that of the Telecommunication Development Bureau to the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and to our very generous hosts who have not only hosted us in a very extraordinary way, but have been financing and sponsoring and supporting our many projects that have touched lives across the globe. What a splendid silver jubilee that we have had before us. Your outstanding hospitality, CST, and professionalism has made this 25th anniversary a memorable, impactful, and treasurable experience. Now we have broken records. This is, I should say, official. This GSR 25 has attracted the highest number of participants ever over the past 25 years. So in this very room, we have had over 1,200 people participating, and a few of them online. And we celebrate this, and we congratulate you, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for doing this. But we also want to congratulate all the regulators here present, the industry and private sector industry members, and also members of academia, for without you, there is no investment in infrastructure for us to bridge the gaps. Our aim is to connect the remaining 2.6 billion people who remain offline. And I can tell you, we analyze the statistics, we are on the right track. We will be announcing our facts and figures very soon, and you are going to see the great strides that we have made together. And we want to bring digital at the center of everything that we do, so that before 2030, many of the governments across the world would have made great strides towards achieving the 2030 development agenda. Let us acknowledge this success by putting our hands together. Can we clap? And finally, I think we look back with pride that together we made it, and that together we have put a dent on underdevelopment, and we have also charted a new way. And this is a strategic moment because we are edging towards the World Telecommunication Development Conference, which is going to be hosted by the government of Azerbaijan in Baku from 17 to 28 of November this year. I want to wish you well, and thank you for this opportunity. I was waiting for the cue from our Master of Ceremony, but I'm inviting His Excellency the Governor, if you could kindly join me.
Dr. Zavazava, thank you for your inspiring words. And now I would like to invite His Excellency Engineer Haitham Alohaly for his closing remarks. Thank you.
Well, first of all, colleagues, I must say I'm very proud of what ITU and CST have delivered this week. I am very thankful for many of you that have came to Riyadh this time around. I am very happy with the meetings and the exciting conversations we've had throughout the week, but I'm also very sad that it has all come to an end. And if you allow me, I would like to deliver the final remarks in Arabic. أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، السيد الدكتور كوزموس زافاسافا مدير مكتب تنمية الاتصالات، السيدات والسادة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تشرفنا في المملكة العربية السعودية باستضافة وتنظيم الندوة العالمية لمنظمي الاتصالات لعام 2025، ويسرنا أن نتقدم بخالص الشكر والتقدير لجميع المشاركين من صناع القرار والخبراء والجهات التنظيمية من مختلف أنحاء العالم، كما نعرب عن بالغ الامتنان للاتحاد الدولي للاتصالات لما قدموه من تعاون ودعم مكن المملكة من استضافة هذا الحدث العالمي. فلكم منا جميعاً أسمى آيات الشكر والتقدير على إتاحة هذه الفرصة وتشريفنا بهذه الندوة. السيدات والسادة، لقد استهللنا أعمال الندوة تحت شعار التنظيم من أجل التنمية الرقمية المستدامة، وهو شعار يجسد التزامنا المشترك بأن تكون الرقمنة أداة للتنمية ومحركاً لتحقيق الازدهار، وضامناً لشمولية الوصول إلى التقنيات الحديثة. وقد شكلت هذه الندوة عبر جلساتها الحوارية وورش عملها ونقاشاتها البناءة منصة متميزة لتبادل الخبرات والرؤى، وفرصة لتطوير أفضل الممارسات التنظيمية التي تسهم في ترسيخ بيئة تنظيمية متوازنة وعادلة، قادرة على دعم الابتكار وتحفيز النمو المستدام. وقد حققنا في هذه الندوة وفعالياتها المصاحبة العديد من الإنجازات والأرقام القياسية على مختلف المستويات، سواء في الحضور والمشاركة أو التنوع في الموضوعات. كما تم اعتماد خارطة الطريق الجديدة لربط البشرية وتقديم حلول مبتكرة وميسورة التكاليف بما يحقق الشمولية والرفاه الاقتصادي والاجتماعي خاصة للدول النامية. واليوم يسرنا اعتماد بيان الرياض الختامي للندوة العالمية لمنظمي الاتصالات 2025 الذي يستند على الدليل الإرشادي لأفضل الممارسات التنظيمية Best Practice Guidelines ومبادئ أساسية تشمل جعل الابتكار ممارسة تنظيمية أساسية، تكييف قدراتنا المؤسسية لمواكبة التحولات المتسارعة، الاستفادة من التقنيات لرفع كفاءة التميز التنظيمي، وتعزيز التعاون عبر الحدود لتبادل الخبرات، وتعزيز الحوكمة التعاونية عبر إشراك مختلف أصحاب المصلحة، وإعطاء الأولوية لمستقبل رقمي يتمحور حول الإنسان واحتياجاته. وختاماً، يطيب لي أن أتوجه بخالص الشكر والتقدير لكل من ساهم في نجاح هذه الندوة العالمية من منظمين وخبراء ومشاركين، لكل من أضاف بفكرة ورؤية إلى مخرجاتها. كما أود أن أتقدم بالشكر الجزيل لموظفي مكتب التنمية بالاتحاد والمترجمين وفريق هيئة الاتصالات والفضاء والتقنية على ما بذلوه من جهود لنجاح أعمال المؤتمر. وبذلك أعلن اختتام أعمال هذه الندوة، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.